All right. Good evening. Okay. Okay. If you were to go onto YouTube and you go to Chabad of Erie's YouTube channel, you'll find yesterday's class on Tevel and Kalim, Teveling vessels, immersing vessels, listed there. And you'll see the video is about 4 minutes and 46 seconds long, although last night's class was a little bit longer than that because the end got chopped off somehow. So for the benefit of everyone who's watching, I'm going to repeat the last thing I said because I think it's important to know. And then we'll go further with some other new information. So regarding immersing vessels before using them, we spoke yesterday that the requirement min haTorah, biblically, is to immerse metal vessels that were purchased or acquired from a non-Jew before using them. The sages came and added as well the obligation to immerse glass vessels as well. We spoke about how if you have a vessel, plastic's fine. Yeah, plastic's fine. Plastic's fine. There are some who say you should. Oh, okay. We'll talk about it. There are some who say you should actually immerse plastic as well. Most opinions say there's no need to. For example, something like wood. Yeah, wood doesn't need to be immersed before using it. If the wood is coated inside and out with metal, a metal coating, that needs to be immersed with a blessing. Same thing with glass. The Shach, one of the main commentaries on the Code of Jewish Law, says that the same thing applies to glass. If you have, let's say again, wood, and it's coated inside and out with a glass coating, it needs to be immersed with a blessing. And then we spoke a little bit, and this is the part that was cut off, is things that are like ceramic, for example, a regular typical coffee mug. It's not made of metal or glass, but it's ceramic, and it's coated in a very thin layer of glaze. It's a glazed coating. The way it's written in the commentaries on the Code of Jewish Law, it's called a glazirt. So such a thing, the custom is to actually immerse it without a blessing. That's what we do. Okay, now that we've cleared that up, now you can breathe tonight, and you know that the end of the video has been restored. Okay, going further. One of the main commentaries on the page, known as the Pischei Tshuva, he's more like a compilation. He takes from the later authorities, rabbinic authorities, and he compiles them into a small commentary on the bottom of the page and gives us important insights. So in the very beginning of this chapter regarding Tevel and Kalim, Teveling vessels, he brings from the book called the Chachmas Adam, was an important work. And he explains that when you immerse your vessel, let's say a metal pot, when you immerse it in a proper place to immerse it, we'll talk about that probably later, actually. When you immerse it, you have to completely immerse it in the water. Okay, now it's important to say that, meaning, what does it mean completely immerse it? That means that you shouldn't stick half of it into the water, take it out, and then stick the other half in. That doesn't work. What needs to be accomplished by immersing in the water is not accomplished by doing half and half. You need to do the entire thing. Now, there is another situation within Jewish practice, Jewish law, where you could do such a thing. It looks very similar, but that's a different situation, which is, if you have a pot, pan, that's not kosher. Not a pan, a pot. That's not kosher. And it's clean and it hasn't been used in 24 hours. The whole rules that are associated with making vessels kosher. We're not getting into that now. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Right, the second I'm not talking about it. We're talking about kosher and kalim. Brand new is brand new is the topic on the table, but right the second I'm comparing it to something else. No, that's what I'm saying. So when you're koshering a vessel, it wasn't kosher. It was used for like pork or something. Let's say. You have to make it kosher, and if done properly, you take the pot and you immerse it. You stick it into a boiling pot of water. That gets the non-kosher taste out of the pot, makes it kosher again. There, you can actually do half and half. You can stick half of it in and then stick the other half in, because the whole point is to get the taste out. And if you stick half of it in, you got the non-kosher taste out of half the pot. You stick the other half in, you've got the taste out of the other half of the pot. Here, in order for this to work, for you to use your brand new metal pot that you bought at the store, you need to completely immerse it in the water. You can't do it in parts.
I did it a couple of years ago. I'll give you time. I couldn't get it out because
Oh boy.
I got to buy the phone.
I'm sorry to hear that. Next time you these days.
Now I'm going to tell you.
You're trying to do it the right way, right? Yeah. You get a basket, you put the stuff in the basket, you can just like a basket with holes in it, or a milk crate or something. Okay, that's point number 2. So the last point for tonight is regarding what do you immerse the vessels into. Okay, I was chatting with somebody once. Yeah, I was chatting with somebody once, and we were talking. He said that he got a new whatever it was, a fork or spoon set. I don't know what it was. And he said, and I said, "Oh, you need to immerse that." He said, "Oh, right. So I know how to do it. I'll take a bucket, I'll put it out on the outside, and I'll wait for it to rain. It'll rain, get full of water. I have rainwater, and then I'll immerse it in the water." Doesn't work. In fact, the type of water that you need to immerse your vessels in is so important. It's so crucial. It's the type of water. It was called a mikvah, that a woman who is a nida has to immerse in, which is a very strict requirement. That's the kind of body of water you need to immerse your vessels in. Anything else doesn't cut it. So a bucket of water doesn't work. It needs to be rainwater depending on the situation. But this could be a whole class for itself. It could be either, in short, it could be a spring, a natural spring, or a kosher, properly made mikvah. Lake, not necessarily. Depends on what kind of lake it is, how it's formed. Lake Erie. If there's no other option, you can use Lake Erie. But I'll tell you as a fact, there's no other option.
That's not ideal.
It's not ideal. It's not for today's class, but I only just found this out recently. But in our situation, there is no other mikveh here. Atlantic Ocean is fine. Salt water. Okay, I'm not gonna say things I don't know. So, but I take the Atlantic Ocean back. What? Ocean is they're out. I'm saying the Pacific Ocean. I'm pretty sure is fine. I don't see what's the problem with the ocean, honestly. Sandy. I'm saying if it's a little sandy, it's fine. I wasn't going to say this. We have like 1 more minute, so why not? I'll add this in. When you immerse the vessel in the water, okay? Okay. This doesn't need to be immersed, but let's just say a theory. It was metal or glass, right? When you're holding it, so how do you immerse it? You could just drop it in, but if you have like your situation where it's very deep and
let it go for a second.
Oh, so why do you have to let it go? So
you're not gonna,
right. So if you're holding it like this and you put it in, what did you just do? Well, let's just use an extreme example. If you're holding like this, yeah, and you dip it in like this, you dipped it in, but there's another part to this is that you can't, right? You can't have any separation between the body of the vessel and the water. There can't be anything separating. That includes stickers, labels, dirt, anything like that, including your hand. If your hand can get in the way too, if you hold it like this and you put it in, you're doing the same thing, same problem. Your fingers are blocking the water from getting there. Okay, so you have one of a few options. Either you can do like Peter over here is suggesting, which is to put it in, let go of it for a second while it's in the water. Some people pass it to the other hand. Or you can hold it, but if you get your hand wet with the water first, and then you hold it average strength. Don't hold it tightly. That's not gonna work. Just hold it regular. That also works.
Oh, okay.
If you get your hands wet first. um, okay. One second. Yeah. Okay. We'll pause here for today, and we will continue, God willing, tomorrow. Yes.